It is the 23rd of December. I'm pre-recording these, so I did lose track of the dates. And today we are getting very near the end of Advent of Code 24 Python libraries in 24 days. Today we're going to look at a library called It's an interesting library. Again, if you're really confident in your use of things like popen, subprocess, you don't need this. But sometimes if you're writing a script, or if you're doing, and again, if you've looked at the Fabric video from earlier, where it has loads of it using Fabric as an API, that's an alternative to using this, and I would probably always lean to using Fabric as a library than this. But this does have some interesting usage, and I think some people would like to use this. So what it does, it allows you basically to use any command line program executable as a library call. So what you do is you basically do from import the thing you want to do. So ifconfig, for example. There are some special rules. If you want to know about sudo, let's say you want to restart things, you need to look at the documentation a bit more clearly. Always be careful if you're passing untrusted input into a command. So if you made some kind of web page where someone's typing something in and you want to then shunt that to a command line, be really, really careful about that, okay? Don't, is what I'm saying, subtly. Be really, really careful about doing those kinds of things. So we're going to do also ifconfig. And I'm going to pass in Ian Naught as my argument here because I believe I have an Ian Naught. There you go. And it gives me the output back. And I can then do output equals. And I can get the return codes and I can do other stuff with it. So it allows me to tend to use these functions as functions. You've got access to things like ls doesn't really make sense, but you could do you could daisy chain this. So I can do from import ls and wc, and then I could do ls dot to get the current folder. I say I've got tons of stuff in there, but I can also then put that into wc. And WC, I want to do -L to say how many lines there are in there. Word count. WC is the word count facility. And I could do that, and then go, there's 19 files in there. 19 lines, at least, in that output. Maybe I wanted to do -LAH, like that. And it errors. And it sees an where it goes, oh, you can't do that. The error code is no such file directory, because you actually can't do it in that order. Probably it's probably saying you've got to do it like that. 42 files in that folder. So that's pretty cool. Is that you if you can get your commands right, you can just program them in, throw them into your functions like this. Run commands. You can also, it's really nice. It's got a really nice Git wrapper. Someone's wrote a Git function for it, so you can go from import Git, and you can do Git status. This is going to error because I'm not actually in a Git repo. So I've got a non-negative error code. I've got an error code, and it's got yes, it's not a Git repository. Job done. But if it was a Git repository, I could do Git status and try and work out what files were committed, build some kind of wrap around those functions. So if you do have some kind of scripty thing that's running on your local machine, you're fully in control. If you just want to automate something, this is a really nice little library. The documentation is pretty good. It's got some things about how to use piping, how to bake other commands in, redirecting outputs, which is something that often you want to do. You want to grab a copy of whatever my network config is or whatever. It's also got a nice thing about sudo. So if you want to use sudo, just be aware of with function, so you can say, yeah, that now run it as sudo. You can also, it's got a couple of tutorials in here as well. So yeah, it's a really nice little library. As I say, would I use it? Probably not, to be honest with you. I think I'm confident enough with the popen class and how to manage other processes and understand the difference between shell and programs, shell commands and programs, built-ins and so on. And also, I think that I would probably, if I did want to get any benefit, I'd probably, other than wrapping around sub-process type functionality, I would probably wrap around Fabric. What is interesting here is it doesn't work in Windows, but it does work 2.8 to 3.8 is its claim. I actually am on beyond 3.8, so it definitely is working beyond 3.8. And the reason that's interesting is that popen actually did change quite a bit between 2 and 3. So if you've got code which you desperately need to be Python 2 and Python 3 compatible, bearing in mind all your code should be running on Python 3 by this point. It's 2020. It's the end of 2021. You should be on Python 3. You should have upgraded everything. But if it does have to be run on both, then this library does deal with that for you. And that alone may give you a cause to look at this library. But apart from that, that's it. It is the penultimate day of Advent, which means we've got one more day to go. If you're enjoying this series, please hit like, please leave me a comment. And yeah, check out the other videos that are appearing over there. Over there. And I will see you in the next episode, which is a personal favourite thing for me. And we'll see that when it comes out tomorrow.